What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Mental Tenacity. This is your host of Men 10, Mojaman, and today we have such a special episode. It's very special to me, and I'm going to explain why. Today on the podcast, I'm joined by Brilliant Liu. Brilliant is the CEO and founder of Executive Media. It's a company that empowers people and brands through social media, and he's also the creator of House of Leaders at houseofleaders.co. House of Leaders is a motivational Instagram page with over 1.3 million followers from all across the world, and it's something that he built up himself. And it also is a page that I have been following for almost 3 years now and has been a critical part to what inspired me to do my podcast. I'm super excited because Brilliant and his page and what he does embodies everything that I would like to do with my podcast, with my life. He inspires people from around the world. He helps coach people. He guides people. Overall, he's just a beacon of light, and I'm super excited to have him on the podcast with me today. So I hope you guys turn the volume up, get cozy, or keep doing whatever you're doing. But I hope you enjoyed this episode of Mental Tenacity. So Brilliant, thank you so much for jumping on the podcast. It's actually unbelievable to have you on the podcast. I've been following you for 2.5 years now. So it's just fantastic to actually have a conversation with you and pick your brain a little bit.
Amazing. Thank you for having me, Mo.
Yeah. So I'm super excited to kind of share your story with my followers and my listeners. For those of you that do not know, Brilliant is the founder and creator of the House of Leaders page on Instagram, which has been extremely successful when it comes to creating leaders, helping people build their mindsets and just get through difficult times. His page is actually, along with some others like Goalcast, have what inspired me to do what I do and help other people today. So I have Brilliant here, and what I wanted to do was have him kind of explain his story as well as his struggles and what was going through his mind when he was trying to create something from scratch. And a lot of us, we run into obstacles and we run into challenges, and it's always nice to get advice from someone who's been there and done that. So I hope today's podcast can bring you guys some value, and I know Brilliant has tons and tons of value to add. So, Brilliant, my first question for you is, I know English wasn't your first language, so can you kind of walk us through like learning a new language and starting this page and the kind of difficulties that you came across?
Yeah, so when I start my journey on House of Leaders, well, I know English as a written language, not as a spoken language.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I know sooner or later, I'm gonna have to speak in front of everyone in form of English, speaking English. So one day, I think it's around 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I realized this, and I kind of start reading books out loud on because whenever I speak, people will say they kind of not understand me, or there's some accent in it, like really, really solid accent. So
yeah,
and then I think, okay, I have to find a way to reset this. So what I do is actually I go to the local Starbucks that time, like I think almost every night, and then order a drink, and then I will read the book out loud in English. And then while I was reading, I will see like how people react to me, how people respond to me. A lot of times there actually someone reach me out and ask me why did I do that. And then when I
was actually going to say, did you ever get like negative responses from reading out loud in a public place?
Yes, actually there's gonna be like a lot of eyes looking at you, like straight to you. But there's also some people like they will reach out to me and, hey, why did you do that? And then I will say, I'm learning how to speak English. And, oh, okay. And then they went away. Or because I want to avoid, because I go to Starbucks to read the books, not to have a chat. Well, I want to have a chat too, but if the chat is in English, I will be really happy to have it. But anyway, after I went home, what I do is I usually watch either a show like Impact Theory or Goalcast or listening to maybe Gary Vee's show to learn about English again. So I want to expand my
love Gary Vee.
vocabulary and my grammar and everything. So yeah, and a lot of times when they say something interesting to me, I will repeat that over and over and over again. First, to like really get deep into it. The second one is to know how to say it, because until now I also realize when I speak really super fast, words, really long words like spirituality, authenticity, it's really hard to say it. So yeah, I'm still
the syllables, the multiple
exactly,
syllables.
exactly. Yep. So I faced a lot of struggles along the way, but I think the most important thing as an entrepreneur or as a human being who want to grow, to have a better life, to go to the next level, is having the mindset, the right mindset, having the right circle, and as your podcast, having the right mental toughness. So whatever happened in life, whether it's COVID-19, whether it's whatever it is, you have to find a way to make a solution, either with your team or with yourself, because there's always gonna be a way. Nothing is impossible for me. Well, there's a few things is impossible, like moving the moon or touching the sun. But what I mean is nothing is impossible is we as a human being, we live being told by society what to do. Start when we were born. Well, we get into this world. And this whole time. And then growing up, when we want to do something, like, for example, my parents is super disciplined, and especially my mom, she always want me to like be safe, and like he loved me very, very much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they want to protect.
Exactly. And then when I do something, my mom will think, okay, Brilliant is not really good at this, so I'm not going to allow him to do this because I don't want him to be sad. Well, if I don't
but she's stopping you from growing.
Exactly. If I don't go through that, how will I grow? How will I learn? How will I have the ability to withstand something in the future if you don't let me go through this? This is why I changed my mindset, starting from what I learned from my mom. Every time I mentor someone, or there is maybe my brother, if he want to do something, go do it. What if you fail? Then you fail. Then you learn. Then you get back up. Then you keep going.
Yeah, I totally agree. Something that I say on my podcast a lot is that you have to struggle to grow. You know, when you leave your comfort zone, you're going to have to struggle. And in those moments where you're learning to perform, where you're learning to not struggle, is where you kind of level up. You build new skills, you learn new things. And at the same time, those feelings that we love, those feelings of accomplishment, those feelings of joy, those feelings of glory and success, they only come after a period of struggle. So we need to allow ourselves to kind of go through the darkness to find the light.
Totally agree.
Awesome. I actually had a question about jumping back to the Starbucks. When you were doing so, right, in your own head, a lot of people, they'll think, what are other people going to think? What are other people going to say? Oh, I can't do this. Oh my God, that would be so weird. Did these thoughts go through your head? And if they did, how did you combat them?
It did. At first, I'll judge myself really bad. I used to judge myself really, really hard. That would be me like 5 years ago from that. So 7 years from now, 7 years ago, I won't do it. But when I do that, I'm actually ready building my business, building my company, and building House of Leaders. So I kind of have to do it, because I know if I don't do this, like I ask myself the right question: will this help you? Like, if you do this for to get attention? Definitely no for me. What if other people say this to you? What if these people say this to you? What if not all the person there tell you to go away? Well, if they ask me to go away, then I will go away. Maybe I'll read in the car, or I will read in front of Starbucks. And then, like, I keep asking myself, there's always the what if questions, right? But a lot of us refuse to answer the what if questions, like really genuinely from deep from our heart. Usually we will think, what if these people will come to me and judge me, and he will make a post of me humiliating me? I don't want that to happen. So okay, let's not do this. But we forget to dive deeper and go to the opposite of the questions. What if they don't do that?
The positive side.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Stop thinking, what if I fail, and start thinking, what if I fly?
Exactly. What if I do that and maybe all the people there will judge me. All the people there will think something bad of me. But what if I keep going and keep going and keep going, and one day I can speak English? What impact could I leave in this world? And I think, okay, I could speak in international stage. I could inspire a lot of people's life. And I could do a lot of things. I can connect with more people, especially, which is my dream, to have like one friend in every country I visit. So I love to connect with people. That would be really amazing. That would be one thing I want to do. Then I do it. And I have this mantra, Mo. Since I have a really, really super bad past, I think ever since I was born, I was super negative. I used to be super negative, but I always have this mantra when I realize I have to change from my negative state to positive state. I will say every time I face a negative energy, I will say this to myself: Brilliant, you are someone positive. No negative energy can affect you. Stay positive. I will keep saying it over and over and over again until I change to positive state. I will reset my mood and state every time I face something like this. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And you have to change, you have to know which words disempower you, which negative words. So for example, every time I want to ask something for help, especially for example, from my fiance, I will say something like this: hey babe, I need your support. So there's like two words which throw away the ego wall. I need your support. So we humble ourselves and say, I need your support. It's not, I want you to do this. That is really selfish, right? But I need your support on this. Can you help me? This change of words will change everything. So yeah, that's what I learned from the whole thing. Just change the wrong words, the negative words, to the positive one. Change your whole life.
I couldn't agree more. See, the mantra meditation is actually something. So I recently just graduated from Seton Hall University, and in my senior year, I had like most of my credits done, and I wanted to take it easy since I had a job offer. So I took this yoga class, and you know, everyone thinks, oh, we're gonna take some easy classes, and we're just gonna get our A and get a good GPA, and we'll get out. But I took this yoga class with this professor, Claire Diab, and she's a professional yogi and meditation instructor. And I actually learned things that I just was not prepared to even learn. So before this class, younger me would say, oh, meditation, it's like, that's funny. Like meditation, yeah, I'm a monk. Like I'll just go sit there and think, you know, happy thoughts and it'll all be okay. But when I actually started to meditate in that class, we would even take 15 minutes some days to actually meditate. And she taught us proper mantra meditation. And I built myself a mantra, and it was, I am capable to accomplish what I want to accomplish.
Powerful.
And I would say that to myself for 15 minutes a day. And it sounds so silly, especially to someone who hasn't meditated. It sounds so silly to just say something to yourself over and over again. But in those moments, while I was saying it, I was able to think about what I wanted to accomplish on a deeper level. I was almost able to plan. I built my own confidence. I gave myself positivity. It gave me levels of energy because I committed my mind and my body to completing this goal. Like I committed to it for 15 minutes. I told my brain I was going to do it. So now I have to. And it's really simple, but I think it's a brilliant way to rewire your brain. And it works. It's real.
Agree, yeah. You have to find a way. But when you make your own mantra, you have to make as what you want to shape your identity to. So if you want to be powerful, then say I'm powerful, for example. Yep, something like that.
Yeah. For me, it's not really about power, but my personal thing, I just like to win.
Yes, I love that.
It's a little bit harder to describe, but I like to win in terms of, it's not that I'm competitive with everyone else. Ultimately, I'm competitive with myself. I really want to be better than me yesterday and not as good as tomorrow. So every day I want to be better. and I'm competitive with myself. In that idea, when I take on challenges, I have to complete this challenge because I challenged myself to do it. And if I can't do it, well, then I'm not really getting better. And as I slowly go through, I pick harder and harder challenges for myself. So I always have something to climb to.
Amazing. That's so powerful. Well,
I would definitely recommend trying mantra meditation to my listeners. Like, if I know it sounds funny, I know it sounds difficult, it sounds very elementary. Oh, just saying something to yourself. But I say this to people all the time. You can speak your dreams into existence. Not only your mindset and what you want to do, but you can speak your dreams into existence. Say who you are to yourself. Say what you want to do out loud. Say what you want to accomplish out loud. It will happen. It's more likely to happen if you put it out into this world.
But talking about speaking about elementary, I think we used to be unstoppable when we were a kid, especially when we learned how to crawl and then walk and then run. We never think it won't work and we stop. Ask yourself, when you learn how to walk and then you fall down, would you think walking is not for me? I don't want to walk anymore for the rest of my life. No, you never think of that. You never think of that. All your attention is just to one thing. I want to walk. And then after you walk, I want to run. And then after you run, and then maybe you fall down, but you keep running. And one day, your family, your friends, or maybe your classmate or your best friend say something to you that you believe in that and you buy into that. And boom, you may have something that triggers you in something bad that triggers you, or you may let society get into your mind and you will maybe not brave enough anymore to do something. You will be afraid to do this. You have this fear, that fear. So yeah, if we can actually have that mental toughness when we were a kid, when we were born, when we never learned about like defeat is okay, but let's not focus on the defeat or failure. Let's focus on what will we get if I can walk. What can I get if I can run? What will I get if I can climb the ladder, or I can climb upstairs? I can meet my mom. I can meet my dad, for example. So yeah. Change that. That is so powerful.
I think as children we're very hopeful and ambitious, not only because we can learn fast, but I think we're not exposed to the word no as much. We're not exposed to the ideas of failure. And slowly as we get older, people tell us, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do this. We hear other people doubt themselves. What if this bad thing happens? What if that bad thing happens? And unfortunately, I think when this is a societal normal, we learn because we're so good at learning, right? We learn to do that. And that is negative for us. We learn to question ourselves. We learn not to have confidence. We learn the word no, and we tell it to ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But actually, when you learn, we kind of level up. So when, as a kid, we learn like we are so unstoppable because we never actually hear no 1,000 times, right? But when we hear no 1,000 times and we can get over that and we can learn what is actually no means. One of my mentors used to say, success lies in when you get back up one more time, just one more time. Every time you fail, you fall down, you get back up one more time, just one more time. It's enough. Get back up again after every single no you receive, and you will be shining one day.
Yeah, I feel that as long as you're getting up, you're not on the ground.
True.
And if you're not on the ground, you can move.
Yes.
And if you can move, you can create opportunity.
Exactly, yeah.
Fall down 7, get up 8.
Yeah.
Speaking of learning to crawl and then learning to walk and then learning to run, I wanted to ask you about your early days with House of Leaders when you first started it. Did it feel like, I mean, I know it definitely felt like crawling, but could you kind of walk me through your experience when you first started? Did you find it difficult to grow? Were you putting out content and it just wasn't catching? And did you ever feel hopeless or discouraged?
Of course. So building House of Leaders, especially for me, it's really challenging. Because first, English is not my first language. English is my third language, and it's kind of hard super hard for me dealing with all the words, the vocabulary, and the grammar. But deep down, I know it's when I face adversity and I keep pushing, that is where the magic happens. That is where growth happens. So I keep pushing, I keep connecting with people, I keep learning, I humble myself, not only to learn from other influencer or other people, but also to learn from the audience. For example, let me explain. When I say I learn from other influencer, there are a lot of times I had to annoy them. Annoy them as in after they gave me a really, really long explanation and I still don't get it because my English is not that great. For example, I never know that when people answer you, let's do it, I'm down. I thought when they say I'm down, they don't want to do it. So I just ignore them and then they say, hey man, I thought we were doing this. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Because that's lingo. I'm down actually means I want to.
Exactly. So I have to learn something like that, right? And then after I don't get it, after the long explanation, I have to ask them again, and it really annoyed them. They honestly tell me that, and because I'm also someone who asks questions a lot when I'm super excited and growing something. And as for the audience, I do tons of mistakes, especially for the grammar part, and I get criticized a lot because of that. And there are even hate comment because of that, and I also go through a lot of racism, which is totally I kind of used to it now. So it like I'm from Indonesia.
Yeah, isn't it funny how you have to kind of just conform to it?
Yes,
we wish we could change the world, but unfortunately, you kind of have to conform to it. It's part of that resiliency building.
Exactly. Yeah.
If it's something you have to go through.
And it's funny when I don't know why people are being racist. Maybe because of the war or because of the past, but I truly believe, I'm a firm believer of, if we want to change the world, you have to change it with love and kindness and all those things. Because if we keep fighting, if we keep giving each other hate comments instead of something, a comment that can grow that someone, you can't change the world. And
yeah, absolutely.
Moving on, where did I left off? Okay, so I get criticized a lot because of by my audience. Now, usually the majority of people will give up when they face this kind of thing. They will think, this is not for me. I'm done with it. I don't want to face that anymore. I don't want to get criticized anymore. This is enough. But
this is too hard. There's too much pushback. Maybe this isn't for me.
Yes, exactly. But the way I see it is, where the problem is, this is I always think like this. Where the problem is, there lies the opportunity behind there. So every time I no longer have, like, if my life is just smooth, really super smooth, I no longer face any problem, single problem, I'll find a problem because I need to grow. If there's no problem for me to solve, I'm not growing. So yes, and I'll tell them on the comment section. This is what I tell them. Guys, this is why I needed your help. House of Leaders has helped so many people through their life and inspire them to the importance of leadership. And I won't be here without everyone. So I need your support here. If I'm doing wrong on the grammar, on the post, you tell me. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll learn from you. I'll ask you, what did I did wrong? And then you explain to me, and then I won't do it again next time because I learned. But I need your help to help me grow. Because when you help me grow, you help a lot of people. Everyone here grow. Because I can inspire more people. And then they ended up teaching me the right grammar. They ended up connecting with me. They ended up being my fans even. So yeah. You see, when you respond instead of reacting, everything will be better. And to address that, what I mean by reacting is for example like this. Reacting is when maybe your child breaks something, you immediately react by getting angry. Perhaps you yell at your kid and upsetting the child and yourself, worsening the relationship and not making anything better. But when you respond to someone, for example, your child breaks something, you notice your anger reaction, but you pause instead of doing the impulsive decision. You pause, You take a breath.
Controlling that impulsive emotional outburst.
Exactly. And you consider the situation, and then you respond to that situation. Whether you want to say something to your kid, or whether you let it go and you teach your kid. You can't do something like this. And when you do something like this, you have to clean it up because you break something and you have to apologize, which is better, right? We just have to take the pause and take a breath and really think what you have to do to really solve this situation. Because I know a lot of people who lose like $1 million and make and double. Like, for example, their company is really, for example, let me show you a real example. I have a friend who own a company. Because of COVID, like he's really super struggling because he's someone really kind. He don't want to fire anyone from his company. And then ask him, now, so what is your plan? How will you help the world, the people you lead, I mean your team, and how will you keep your company survive? He say, no, I want to keep going, and I don't want to fire a single person because they have to make a living too for their family. And then I asked him, what do you want to do? It's okay, I will hold a meeting with my team. He say, I will hold a meeting with my team, and we will discuss what we have to do instead of me like freaking out or thinking what I have to do on my own because they are my team. And then he held the meeting, and then the next day he got back to me. He say, Brilliant, we found a solution, which we, instead of keep creating or making or producing the shirt, we want to produce mask instead.
Oh, yes. Wow.
And then we want to sell this, and we want to take just a little profit from that, and the rest of that we will make more masks to give it for free for everyone in Indonesia. I say that is amazing. And then they create the movement, and they sell it, and they thrive, and they make more money instead. So that is really something amazing. When you try to find a solution, there is always going to be an answer. There's always going to be an answer. Even since we were born and we were as a child, we keep, like, a lot of people around us keep telling us that it won't work. It will this, it will that, because they face failure and they haven't found through it. Just imagine if you meet someone, like, for example, there's two persons. The first person, this person joined a seminar, which is growing a self-development seminar. The second person is that this person never joined a seminar. He go to party instead, or he hang out with friends, and he never do business. All he discuss about is what should we do on the weekend, something like that. In the future,
I've been there.
I've
been there.
Exactly, right? And in the future, let's say these two person want to start something. Let's say not a business yet. Maybe they work at one company as a salesperson. Trust me, the first person will definitely close more clients than the second person, because the second person, I'm pretty 100% sure, even when he was working, he's thinking, what am I going to do this Saturday and Sunday? But the first person is formulating or the formula, because he learned from the past experience in the seminars. What can I do as a person to grow, and what's a win for my customer? Something like that. That's the difference in mindset.
Yeah.
100%. The first person is going to grow instead of the second person.
Yeah, I think training that mindset is really important. It's not gonna, a lot of people, including myself, would get frustrated. Hey, I'm thinking like this. I want to be successful. Why is it not changing? But I realized just because I want it now doesn't mean I'm going to change. I need to structure my behavior and my habits around it. I need to stop going out every Thursday, Friday night, and I need to join the business club. And I need to go to the meetings of the business club and learn what they're talking about. And then I got to the level of, okay, now that I enjoy going here and I know the people, let me get involved. Let me join the executive board and become a critical piece of this, because I have a passion for it and I enjoy it now. And the entire time it was slowly but surely training my mindset to move away from, hey, what are we going to do this weekend? That sounds like so much fun. Let's go have a good time, to, hey, I need to sacrifice some of my joy and my time, and I need to learn this because it's going to be good for me in the future. Yeah, and developing that mindset took time. It wasn't instant. I didn't just wake up one day and say, "Hey, I'm going to make all the right choices." And even if I did do that, I would still make some of the bad choices because habitually I want to. It's like building your tolerance against it. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the mindset is definitely critical. That person number one will win every time, every single time.
Exactly, right.
Speaking of developing your mindset, you told me that at first you have a lot of doubts for yourself when you're starting. It's hard to get the views. It's hard to get out there. You're pushing content. It's just not catching. But I really do believe, and I think this is a standard philosophy, it only takes that one day, that one point of success, that one opportunity or that one person to kind of take you to the next level, to take you to the next opportunity. And I believe in fighting every day because you don't know when that day is. You don't know when that one day is. So you have to kind of be ready every day. So my question for you is, can you recall what your first breakthrough day was? Like, what was your first opportunity where you were like, wow, I can take House of Leaders to the next level?
There was one day in the early days. I can't forget about this. This is really like the breakthrough days. So House of Leaders used to be my personal page. And
Yeah.
I all the thing I share is about my journey as a leader, like because I fall in love with leadership so much. They share about leadership every single day. And then one day I kind of meet my first mentor on Instagram. Like I love his page really much, but I was afraid to connect with him. I was really afraid that I will get upset if he don't reply to my message. That is how bad I am in the past. And I kind of repost one of his posts, and then he liked it. And that post, like,
oh wow, yeah, that's a good feeling. I know that feeling. That's like when you messaged me. I was like, oh my god, Brilliant messaged me.
Yeah, and he liked it. He liked it, and that post like really explode. Usually my engagement, the likes is only maybe 20 or 30, but after he liked it, it jumped to like 300 and 400. And I was curious. Okay,
yeah, that's explosive growth, 10x.
yes, and I was really thinking, okay, let's do one more time. If he liked it again, I'll definitely reach him out. And I reposted again, and he liked it again and explode. And I reach him out. Hey, how did this happen? And then he say, join my community. I'll teach you everything. And then trust me, that time, my family kind of go broke. I was really, really suffering from, I need more money to support my family. And the community is, I think it's, if I'm not wrong, it's $39 or $49 or $59, which is a lot in Indonesia. That is like almost $1 million. And $1 million, if you,
holy moly,
yes, and $1 million is like salary base for people who just start working that time, and that's monthly. And I think, okay, if I really want to do this, then I have to go all in. Then I have to take the risk. But if I take the risk, I have to really go all in, and I can't waste every single minute on this. And I ended up,
yeah, absolutely. That's a big jump.
I ended up invested on it.
And it's really scary.
Yeah, he's kind of the first person who I annoy, and he knows when I ask a lot of questions and I don't understand. I keep asking, and he won't reply me anymore. He won't reply me anymore because he knows I will find the answer if I keep doing. For example, like this, I will ask him, what did this happen, and I will say this, and this, right? And I will ask again, okay, if I do this, this will happen. He won't reply me because I know the answer. I'm just making sure. After I joined, not only did I get the knowledge how to grow, but the most powerful, I learned the most powerful tools that day, which is the power of connection, the power of co-elevation, which I get to know a lot of people.
I like that. The power of co-elevation. I like that a lot.
Which I get to know a lot of more people. We can work together. We can learn together. We can grow and support each other's vision and goals, which is so, so powerful. That is when I went to maybe below 1K to 3K, 6K, 10K. And then from 10K, I start to like create my original formula on how to create and how to grow an Instagram account. I keep researching my way through 10K to 100K. And when I am about around 120 or 130K, I finish my research. That is how I grow. Like the first year, I grow only 100K. The second year, I grow like 400 to 500K because of that simple formula I create. So you see, it all starts from something, a breakthrough. But I have just imagine because of my family, we need more money and I have to save more. I decided not to invest in that. And I won't be here today. I won't have like the connection I can get. I won't be.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yes.
You jumped for something you had a passion for, and it was scary, and there was a million things telling you this wouldn't work, but you put the time into it.
Exactly.
You knew it was your passion. You kept working on your craft, and here we are talking, and here I am looking up to you because you did it.
Thank you, man. But Mo, after I invested on it, it's not simply investing, but I'm also investing all my energy and time on that because I want to know if it really works or not. Most of people, after they invest in something, trust me, majority of people, after they buy a book or a PDF or a course, after they even, let's say they read it, they digest it, right? But they never do it. They never execute. Then you won't get anything. But after I joined that, not only like I really squeeze everything out from that community, but I also execute on it. I still remember on my early days, I sleep only 3 to 4 hours every single day. So I really execute on it. And that's how I get to today.
Yeah, I understand that very well because currently so on top of the podcast, I actually have an actual full-time job. So I work like 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day, and then I'll eat and I'll shower, and then I'll work on my podcast from 9 p.m. to 2 in the morning, and then I'll go to bed and I'll do it again. But the thing that keeps me going is that I love working on this podcast. I love creating content. I love when someone DMs me, and I don't care if it's 2 in the morning, but if they DM me and they ask me about something, maybe they ask for my experience, my advice, or maybe just help, I will stay up and I will chat with them because I love it. I enjoy it. It gives me energy. I don't feel tired when I do it.
Amazing. That is your why. And people have to find their why.
Exactly.
When you find your why, that is going to keep you going every single day. Make you jump out of the bed in the morning.
Exactly. Wake up every morning, ready to go. I know my direction. Now I have to push.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, and another thing so this is an idea brought up by Jordan Peterson. He's a Canadian psychologist. Do you know of Jordan Peterson?
Jordan Peterson.
You might have seen some Facebook or YouTube clips. He gets used a lot sometimes in political videos because he talks a lot about human behavior and the human mind and plenty of other things. But this one great discussion that he has is about opportunity. And I asked you about that one breakthrough day question because I believe once you have that first breakthrough day, you're setting yourself up exponentially for success.
Exactly. Yeah.
I find that a lot of people think success is kind of a straight line, right? It goes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But really, success is kind of exponential because once you have that first opportunity for success, multiple new doors open up for you. And if you play your cards right, you can move exponentially. So it's like people that are well known and famous, they have opportunities left and right because people know them. So really, it's not 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It's 2, 4, 8, 16, 32.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree on that. Because when you first have your first breakthrough, like you go through everything, all the hardships, all the adversity, you face everything, only to get that.
You build the knowledge.
Yeah, only to get that breakthrough. You get addicted to the breakthrough, and you start to have the mindset, okay, I want another breakthrough. What I have to do, I have to be able to withstand every single problem or adversity or whatever it is, fear, conquer it, every single thing. If I face and go through that, I will get my breakthrough, another breakthrough. So you start to have that mindset, and you are addicted to success, and you start wanting more.
I totally agree. It's once you get a taste of it, that's what happened to me. Once I got a taste of winning, I realized, wow, I really, really like to win. I like to beat my own expectations, and I just got addicted to it. And I will say, while it is amazing, it does have its downfalls. Sometimes I'll get very competitive with myself. I'll think, dang it, why did I fail? I did not prepare well. I'll beat myself up, and I'll kind of go back to what you were talking about, how you were very kind of hard on yourself and judgmental on yourself. And I'll have those days as well, but I try to remember my mindset. I try to remember the things that I preach and kind of help myself. So you mentioned that while you were growing, when you got your first opportunity, you're at 10K, you're at 100K, you finished your research at 130, 150,000, right? Now, I don't want to go too long into it or get too in deep with it, but a lot of my listeners and followers are people that are trying to grow their page. They're at like 3,000, they're at like 5,000. Some of them produce leadership content, some of them produce music, some of them do photography and art, or plenty of other things. There's a great variety of people. But do you have any general advice that can help these people kind of grow their page?
I think my answer is simple. If I really want to get to it, it's gonna be a really long conversation. If I want to make it simple, you have to find your own unique original content by finding your authenticity on your, well, at first it's totally okay if you want to imitate anyone. So for example, like this, if you're getting started and you need more followers, try to research on pages who is similar like yours, not only from the brand but also from the audience. So for example, if you are looking for audience to listen to your music is popular in the millennials age era, and more people from, maybe for example, US is the people who can relate to your song, then the page you want to target, you want to research, is the page who has almost the same similar target audience as you want. And then you'll want to check out that page more and try to post something that is really have engaging people. I mean, the likes, the comments, the save and the share on the post. Like, just find something like, for example, the page is ABC, and then he has like 100 posts, and then track the last 10 posts. If the posts like have significant increase of likes, use that one. For example, 1K, 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 and 10K. That 10K, you can repost that and credit that person. If that post
I got
also did well on your page, then that is something that your audience can relate to it. And you can learn, make that page your research, your study case. And
yeah, absolutely. Kind of figure out, okay, this one got good rate. It got a boost in ratings on his page. It got a boost in ratings on my page. What is so special about this post? And kind of learn that, and then try and integrate that into your own page, your own creation.
Exactly.
I learned something. I was actually using your exact strategy that you just said. When I first started my page, I was posting some of my own stuff, posting some mixed stuff, but I would go to other pages. I would find the post that had significant amount of likes, the one that broke out, that good one, and I would repost it to mine, and it would do pretty well. But over time, I learned a bunch of things. For example, what kind of font do people like? They like clean font. What kind of pictures do people like? They like high quality images. So what I did was high quality images with very clean font. What else can we do? Oh, they like pictures that can capture something that you don't see every day, like a hot air balloon or a person on a parachute. These pictures do really well because they're unique and different. So slowly over time, as I've been combining that thing, my page has been doing so much better. And I know that's only an example that works for you and me, because if someone produces music, it's not exactly the same. But for them, I think they can, like you said, learn their audience, learn their demographic, and then learn where to look for attention. Because if you can target an audience that you know has an interest in what you do, you can grow much faster than just following 100 random people and liking 100 random things.
Exactly. And I think, and the last thing I want to say, because there's gonna be tons and tons of technical things you have to do when you grow your page, but I think the most general things everyone can do is, apart from doing that research, is that you have to connect. Like you say, Mo, you love to connect, right? But instead of waiting for someone to reach out to you, if you just getting started, your engagement is gonna be really small, right? And then what you can do is you connect with your audience. You reach out to people who drop the likes and the comments on your post. Reach out to them and ask them, hey, thank you for engaging in my content, in my post. What is it that make you want to like or comment on this post? What is it that make it resonate to this post? Share a little bit to me.
Do some research.
Yes.
Get some feedback.
Yes. And when you connect with them, not only you are building something, a trust and a relationship with them, but you also at the same time know what they love, what your audience love. When you get into someone's shoes, like you really understand them, you will grow. Trust me. And you will make more sales too at the same time.
Yeah, I totally agree. I found that instead of doing spam comments, when I did comments that actually, when I took the time to watch someone's video or music or listen to his music, make a genuine comment on something relatable, they would always reply and then like my stuff, or, they would engage with me because they know I took the time and I invested in them, and they'll do that back for me. And that's worked so well for me. I think I doubled my follower growth rate in a week just by being a more genuine and honest person and just interacting with people and even chatting them. I've, like you said, just message them and I've asked some people, hey, thank you for sharing my post. What made you want to share it? And it's great. The things that I learn are fantastic because I know what I need to replicate. I know what I need to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, in case my listeners are not aware, Brilliant has grown his page from 3 to 10 to 130 to now 1.3 million followers on House of Leaders. I first wanted to say, one, congratulations. That is like the dream for me, and you're living it, so congrats. Two, now that you have this following, now that you have kind of a strong grasp of who you are, what you enjoy, and what you want to bring to this world, what are your future plans with House of Leaders? Do you want to, are you going to, I know you mentioned starting a podcast, but is it starting a podcast? Do you want to build a leadership institute? Do you want to start training people to coach others? If you can just kind of just loop me in on your future plans.
I will break this down to two parts. First is my dream for House of Leaders is that House of Leaders can always be a platform for people to connect and learn leadership at the same time, where it can inspire and empower and encourage people to, while connecting with each other, be an authentic leader who is comfortable to be vulnerable, which includes treating others with compassion and being accountable for their actions. And the other part is I always want to make House of Leaders to be a platform to help more people to grow their presence online. So it's like worldwide media company, which I'm doing right now. Because House of Leaders has allowed me, and it has allowed me to have the opportunity to be able to speak in international stage, in an amazing podcast, to be interviewed in an amazing podcast like yours, Mo, and to allow me to connect with more people around the world, and allow me to also grow, not just financial wise, but also personal wise as a human being, and more of other opportunities. And I want people to have this kind of thing too. So if I can help more people to grow their online presence, especially through Instagram, since that is my expertise, that will only mean I'm opening a lot of doors for everyone. So yeah, that is the two focus I want to do now.
I have those aspirations myself. I know you're on a whole new level, but I think that's great. And you mentioned spreading that positive mindset, spreading that good to kind of combat the bad in this world, to overcome it with good. And it's harder to spread, but you've become this kind of beacon of light and hope and leadership. And now that you have a platform, like we talked about, exponential growth, I think you're going to be exponentially able to spread that positivity you want to spread and that growth. And I really admire it, and I want to do the same. And I know I'm going to get there, and I say that confidently because I know if I want to get there, I have to say that. So I'm going to get there as well.
Amazing, Mo.
Well, brilliant. We're coming up on like a little over 50 minutes here on this chat. So I like to keep my podcast under an hour because I know a lot of people don't have the time to sit here and listen to super long episodes. So I shoot for under an hour. Is there anything that you want to include into this before I kind of wrap up? Just any personal notes or anything you want to say to my listeners? Maybe you have a message for them.
I think my message is simple. If you really think...
I love simple, Brilliant. I love simple.
If you really want to succeed, as bad as you want to breathe, you will succeed. So if you really want to succeed in your life, find that something, so that's really something, and think, will I regret not doing this if I die? After I die, will I regret not doing this? If the answer is yes, do it. Stop making excuses. Stop thinking whether it's gonna work or not. Just do it. Just do it.
Brilliant. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you know where the richest place in the world is?
The richest place?
Yeah, the richest place in the world.
It's in our head. Because I think our brain is so powerful. Like, it's really, 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 really powerful. So if you know how to, like, you have the most expensive thing in your head, inside your head. And if you're not using it, or you use it for something that can grow you, it's really waste of time, or it's really a waste. You have to use it, the thing inside your head.
Yeah, exactly. On the topic of waste, I heard that question once, and the answer was, it's the graveyard. The richest place in the world is the graveyard. And it's because people have the most amazing ideas, but they never follow through on it, and they don't unleash the potential, and they take it to the grave with them. And in that graveyard are millions of ideas, millions of startups, millions of leaders, millions of creators who just never came to be because they didn't do it. They were afraid to do it. And that motivates me. I don't want to go to the graveyard rich in my head. I want to live out.
Exactly. I love that. I love that. I really, really love that. You know, I always think exactly like what I say earlier. Will I regret this if I can't do this when I die? If I want to do it, then I will do it. If I don't want to do it, like, for example, will I regret it if I don't do skydiving and I die and I can't do it anymore? But I never do skydiving. I will definitely regret that. I will like crawl out from my graveyard and I will do the skydiving. So I will do the skydiving, something like that. So yeah, that makes sense. So much sense.
Yeah, I think I need to go skydiving too. I keep telling myself, but now everything's closed. You know, the world is closed right now, so I gotta wait.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, brilliant. This has been an amazing conversation. I want to thank you really from the bottom of my heart for supporting me, and not only supporting me, for giving me your time and having this discussion with me. I learned a lot from you today, and I think being able to put it on the podcast and document it, there's going to be hundreds of more people that can learn from you.
Amazing. Thank you for having me, Mo. This is really one hell of a podcast. Keep it going.
I will absolutely keep it going. I'm not taking it to the grave. I'm going to live it.
Love it. This is your legacy. Keep it going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to build leaders just like you.
Amazing.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to today's podcast. If you want to learn more about Brilliant or House of Leaders, check out their page on Instagram at House of Leaders. Until the next podcast, keep your mental 10 out of 10. Keep it men 10. Thank you, Brilliant.
Thank you, Mo.
Oh, What? You're still here? Oh, okay. Hey, while you're here, follow me on Instagram. It's at mental_tenacity. I have posts every day to help motivate you, inspire you, and keep you on track. The captions there are going to help reinforce what we learn here. So, follow the gram, and I'll see you there. And I'll see you next week.